going to be like, I can't hear me anyway.
The real estate news that we've been waiting for, Dixie Days, and what interest rate would you need to see to make a move? Jeremy Larkin here with the St. George, Cedar City, Southern Utah Real Estate Morning Drive. I've got one call, that's all. Jesse Paul.
Good morning, everybody.
To my side, to my near right, my right-hand man, there's someone walking a puppy dog past Larkin Group headquarters, guys. We broadcast this. We are live on KDXU radio, but we actually broadcast from Larkin Group headquarters. Most of you know where that is. If you don't, we took over the old Cameo Florist space downtown St. George, and it's very lovely. And if you haven't come to see us, one of our great listeners who won a book popped in a couple of weeks ago. Lynn, is actually one of our clients. It's fun when people come and they see what we have here. And Jesse, probably the most fun I had the day of our grand opening, April of 23, is I had Curtis Larson come in here. The Larson family owned Cameo Florist for all those decades, and Curtis came in, and I'm laughing trying to describe it. It's as though it was very sound body and mind, right? It's like his family had to walk him through in absolute shock. Kind of like, it's okay, we can walk through. And he said, I can't believe it. But he was so delighted. Yeah. He couldn't believe what the building had become. Right?
It was definitely a transformation.
Yeah, we want you to come see us, guys. 695 East Tabernacle Street, Larkin Group HQ. We have the big old mural on the side of the building. And I'm so excited that our friend Gary Gentry purchased the building across the street on the corner. Absolute eyesore for decades.
Yeah.
Terrible eyesore. And turned that into Gentry music. And he's got beautiful signage out there. He's painted the building. Cleaned up the landscape.
Good over there.
It looks like a business. We're actually going to do a team gathering over there one day and have Gary play some music for us, and we'll talk history. So kind of fun to have. Gentry is an old family. Gary's been around forever. We've been around forever. Let's talk about the news we've been waiting for. Would anybody like to know about that? It's interesting, Jesse. By the way, Jeremy Larkin with the Larkin Group home selling team, KW Realty. And if you want to watch this live, and this is a double header, we're actually going to pre-record a show for next week. And so we're going to be on here a couple of, certainly 90 minutes this morning. Let's call it 90 minutes. Blake, should we just call it 90? Let's call it 90. Let's say we're going to get out of here by 10 o'clock. That's a lot of podcasting.
That's a lot of airtime.
We're going to be on for about 90 minutes. Visit facebook.com/St. George Experts. Facebook.com/St. George Experts. Or if you just look up the Larkin Group Real Estate on Facebook, like if you're like, I can't remember what he said. I know. Just hop on Facebook, plug in, just start typing in the Larkin Group Real Estate. You'll see us. You'll see us live. There we are. I just looked at us right there. There I am talking.
Boom,
okay?
There you are.
Visit Larkin Group Real Estate on Facebook, and we'll talk about it. So, the news we've been waiting for. This is a fascinating time. We sent there was an email that went out to our database August 27th. Yeah, I wrote this. Would you like me to just read it as I wrote it? I will. August 27th, 7:36 and 50 seconds p.m. I love how specific that is. Friends, after what feels like forever. Anyone seen Sandlot? Sandlot reference for all of you fans out there. I actually had a picture of the Sandlot kid, and they're saying forever. Yeah. After what feels like forever, a rate cut in September is finally on the horizon. How low will they go? Well, that's still up in the air, but here's the deal. A rate cut could spark a spike in buying demand. It could spark a spike. Mm-hmm. Kind of fun, play on words. A rate cut could, here's what I do. I want to read it and I want to hash it out. Okay. A rate cut could spark a spike in buying demand. That spike would likely lead to faster sales cycles, fewer price reductions, and a rise in bidding war scenarios. But here's the twist. Homeowners who have been waiting to sell, clinging to their low interest rates, might finally decide it's time to move, bringing fresh listings to the market. We could see more demand and more supply, a win-win for everyone. As always, my Larkin Group team and I will keep you posted with all the important real estate updates. Stay tuned. Jeremy Larkin, founder. And I asked the question, P.S., what interest rate would you need to see before you're ready to move? So let's hit this thing, man.
That's an interesting one. Because, for a year and a half, we had 3% interest rates, which are actually unheard of in the mortgage world. Has there ever been a time when we had 30-year mortgage at 3%?
Yeah.
When was that? 2015.
We got down there to like 3 point something.
Okay.
Yeah, Blake, by the way, our show's put on by our friends at Blueform Media. Check them out at Blueform Media on Instagram. Blake's here. And Blake Norton and military guy, so he knows about a VA loan, don't you, Blake? Yeah, I was a loan officer as well. Oh, he was an LO. You were a loan officer. Okay.
Hey, Blake, you better be careful. Do you know that's how I actually got on the show? Is from Jeremy would talk to me from behind the camera, and within about a month, he's like, just get over here. That was what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
It was great.
You're going to be on.
No,
so
you're
this
fine.
is kind of interesting. I'm looking at a chart. So let me give you, by the way, just for fun, if you're a realtor and you don't, I want you to know, guys, this email actually went out to every single client or prospect in our database. That means every agent on my team at the Larkin Group, their clients received this. And what's so fun is if people respond, then we go, oh, hey, Jesse, the Smiths responded that are your clients. Chat with them. This is the kind of outreach that we're doing on a regular basis to our database. Do you want to know how many people that email went to? If anyone curious? It was sent to 10,815 souls. Well, it could have been way more souls than that because maybe, these are families, but 10,815 email addresses delivered to 10,633. That's a beautiful delivery rate. Whoa, baby. Isn't that amazing? Of that group, we got the golden open rate, which you guys know what the golden open rate is. If you're a real estate agent, you're going, how do I market? By the way, we can teach you some of this, or you could, obviously you can talk to us about a career with the Larkin Group. It was opened by 2,042 people, just about 20%. So the 20% open rate is what we like. I think I was about 19%. When we're hitting 20% open rates, we're doing well. And by the way, this could change over time, right? Like, this could look in another week, this open rate could bump up a couple of points because people go into their email. So let's go back to 30 years of interest rate history.
Okay, so this actually even.
Do you know what the peak was? Do you want to know the actual peak? Do you want to know the date of the peak?
19.
Do you guys want to know the actual date of the highest interest rate ever recorded?
Oh, give it to us.
Was October 30th, 1981. I was 6 years old. Oh, what a great data point. It was 18.44%.
Okay, so this actually proves my point even more.
Nope,
So
I lied. Hang on, Jesse. Wait, don't prove the point yet.
Okay. It even went higher than that?
I missed it. I had to hold it just right. October 9th, 1981, that month. Friday, October 9th, 1981, it was 18.63%. Okay.
Wow.
And by the way, let me preempt this before you even say this. We're not here to tell you, well, rates are so much lower now, you should buy a house. Everything's relative.
No,
housing's more expensive. Like, we get that,
And what I'm actually saying is why we've been stagnant for 2 years. We had literally 10 years under 5%.
Let's talk about that, Jesse.
With 5 of them, 6 of them being under 4%.
Jesse, this is absolute real estate gold. Let's talk about it. On October 22nd, 2009, speaking of October is an interest rate time, isn't it? October 22nd, 2009, Jesse, rates hit 5%. And they fell below. That was it. That was the day.
And they stayed that way clear up until March of 2022.
Would you like to know the day? Can
Yeah,
you
tell me
believe
the
that I
day.
have the
You're
day?
on a
I'm gonna
different
give you this link, by the way.
Yeah, give me the exact date.
This is actually literally the St. Louis Fed.org, which is this. I fiddle around and search, and this is the best one I've seen. The actual date, Jesse, it's hard to find, but I'll give it to you momentarily. I'll put it in our Facebook link.
Okay.
It's so hard to get it to stop on the day. It looks like, when did we go to 5% again? Well, I can't get it. Around April 28th, 2022, we went to 5.1. There you go. Okay, guys, from October 2010 to April 28th, 2022, we were below 5%. Oh, this is so good, dude.
So when you have...
Guys, 12 years.
So, because, in the real estate world, we're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not, that's not very high. When you've had 10 years of a mortgage rate under 5%, it is the norm.
Yes.
And it makes so much sense that people are like, okay, I'm just going to wait for them to come back. I'm just going to wait for those 3% to come back.
Yes.
Because for 4 or 5 of those 10 years, it was under 4%.
Yes. Yes. This is so fun. By the way, I'm going to post this link right now, Jesse.
Okay.
This is at facebook.com/St. George Experts, or if you're on Facebook, just go to, just search the Larkin Group, and you'll see it. Real estate on Facebook, the Larkin Group Real Estate. You can watch us live. There's a picture of Judd's and the Rockville Bridge behind my head, and I think Jesse's running something else. Jesse's got downtown Santa Clara and the Green Gate Village behind his head. Okay. This is so fun. Blake Bench, great lender, responded. He said, "Good times, baby." Blake and I, in 2008, partnered up. I think Blake purchased the little bus. He purchased a 14-passenger. Blake Norton, do you know this story? No. Okay. He purchases a 14-passenger. This is a lender, like the retirement home vans. Do you know the kind that have the door that opens like a bus on the side? The kind that they like haul you around like, okay, we're going to take you guys, to lunch. So Blake buys this thing. We plaster the thing in vinyl. It says southernutahforeclosuretour.com. That thing ended up on the news. We were in the Daily Spectrum news.
Oh.
And we probably found, I'm going to say that I found a dozen of the best clients I've ever had in my life over that tour. And we'd go out on Saturdays, not every Saturday, but we'd go out Saturdays. We'd fill that bus. We'd give people a little goodie bag, like with a bottle of water and a granola bar, and I don't know what we gave them. And then what we would pick is 4 to 8 foreclosures. And we would go and we hadn't selected these, and we would go look at them.
That's
right?
so good.
And so just a comment here, guys. I put that link in there. Let me edit that link. I'm going to say this, guys. Rates were below, okay, we're putting this in Facebook, below 5% from October 2010 to April 2022. That's insane. Okay, that's insane. Jesse, this is so fun. So let's go back to the email, because we're gonna juxtapose here, right? The email says the news we've been waiting for. They're talking about a rate cut in September, a big rate cut. What does that mean? I don't know. But like Jerome Powell has come out, and here's what he said. I'm paraphrasing. We jacked rates up in 2021, 22, to try and fix an economy that was completely out of control. It was completely out of control in a lot of ways.
Definitely. And definitely the housing market was out of control. This
is what we're talking about. And I have to invite everyone listening to throw their partisanship out of this. Like, people start, Trump, Biden, rah. Stop it. Just stop it for a minute. Okay. Just hear the facts. Okay. If homes had continued appreciating the way they were, the median home price in St. George, Utah right now is about $500,000. The average is over $6,000.
Yeah.
Guys, the median would be $750,000. The average would be $9,000. That's how fast things were going.
Yeah.
It was
if
insane. You think it sucks now, home prices, Oh, okay.
Well,
So
they were going up 25% a year.
it was sick and wrong, right?
2 years straight. So Washington County, St. George, doubled in value in 3 years.
This is an interesting study.
That is unheard of.
Well, Jesse, it's a human sociology experiment, and here's what it is. In 2021, do you remember when I sold Terry's house, cousin Terry's house in Bloomington Ranches?
Yeah.
I wanted to purchase this home and move there. Honestly, I really would have purchased this home. Half of an acre down in Bloomington Ranches with a pool and a pool house, and it was a country home, and it was, oh my gosh, I wanted the home. Well, here's the thing. When she and I started talking, get this. When she and I started talking a year prior, we were saying mid sixes, 650. When we went to market at $800,000, and someone wrote us an offer $40K over that.
And remember, we were thinking, wow, is this possible?
40,000. So listen, a year later, we're like, I think it's actually worth $8. Someone wrote an offer $40K over, and I remember talking to them, and they said, oh, we're happy to pay $40K over. It was this kind of a tone. This like, no, it's fine.
Wow.
Jesse, tell a buyer, grab 10 buyers off the street today and tell them to pay $40K over listing price. Would even one of them say yes? We sold one. I did, ironically. But it's a unique scenario.
That's where I want to be careful how I answer that.
It's a unique scenario.
In a normal circumstance, no. But if you have the right listing, the right process, the right strategy, yeah. Maybe one would.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, well, and you just did that. What? How long ago did you close? 30 days ago?
60
days ago. In the current environment, like right today, I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah.
This is a different market today than it was 60 days ago. The sentiment's different.
Yeah.
Right? It was just different.
Well, the sentiment is different. And look, we took a home, we made it perfect. It was my own personal property. So I had
full control,
creative control, staging control. And I mean, I was down there on my hands and knees, right? Getting things right. And it was, listen, what's up, Lou? Good morning,
by the
brother.
Way, literally on his hands and knees, cleaning the floor.
Cleaning the floors. Yeah. And look, we priced it at $479. It sold for $510. But look, do you see the human sociology experiment that I'm talking about, gang?
Yeah.
That we had people going, oh, I'll pay $40K over. Okay. So guys, they're talking about the rate cut. Jerome Powell said we jacked rates up to control the housing market. And now there was a big Fox News. Fox News. If you fall on the left, you're going to be like, I can't believe you mentioned Fox News. It was a great article. It actually was just about Jerome. It was the history of the Fed over the last 4 years, what they've done. 3 years. Really the last 3 years. And so, and he said, look, they had this big Jackson Hole meeting. Here's how they refer to their meetings too. Yeah. It was the Jackson Hole meeting. That's what they were saying.
Okay.
And he said, it's time. Literally, it's time. The economy is ready. Inflation's at like 2.8, 2.9%, down from 9%, 8.9%. I think it was 9-ish. So it could spike. So Jesse, one scenario is it could spark a spike in buying demand. Could spark a spike in buying demand. Okay,
it could, especially if it drops below like 5.5 again, probably, and if it gets below 5, definitely.
I had somebody I was messaging with on Instagram say, I said, what rate would you need? And they said, oh, I don't know, 5%. And I said, I actually think you could get that in the not too distant future with a rate buy down.
Yeah.
So, they said, well, doesn't a rate buy down only last for 6 months? Isn't it interesting that we get I haven't responded to them. I just saw it this morning.
Yeah.
No, a rate buy down doesn't last 6 months.
You can do a rate buy down in several different scenarios.
Yeah.
You can do a permanent buy down.
You can have a permanent rate buy down.
That way for the rest of the loan term. You can do what's called a 3-2-1
buy down. Yeah.
That's where it basically steps up over the next 3 years.
Yeah. There's a lot you could do, right? So it could spark a spike in buying demand, which could lead to fewer price reductions, faster sales cycles, maybe even some bidding wars. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the twist. The twist is what we talked about, KSL News. I'm actually going to share some of these articles if I can link them to you. KSL News said 75% of Utahns have a rate below 3%.
See, that's the tough part.
So Locked In, the article, KSL. Yeah, here it is. Locked In. Was it KSL or K? Okay, here it is. KSL TV. Locked In. Nearly 3 of 4 Utah homeowners have a mortgage rate below 4%. It was 4%.
I'm not even thinking about selling, but as you're talking about that, I'm sitting on a mortgage at like 3.2, and I have put off building a garage with an apartment above it for 2 years now because I don't want to have to refinance and have a 6.5% interest rate.
Good morning, Melissa. Checked in with us on Facebook. I agree, Jesse.
And that's the same thinking that a potential seller's having that wants to move. Yeah, but holy crap. If I move, then I'm going to have to go into a house at a 6.5% rate or a 6% rate, literally double what I have now. So you've got to have a really serious motivation to move to make that happen.
Correct.
To convince yourself to make it happen.
You do, right? So, but look at this, right? You have a bunch of sellers who are sitting on the fence, and what we realize is that sellers could jump in the mix and go, fine, I'll sell my home, which would add some inventory. Mm-hmm. And there you go, right? This is very, very interesting what could happen, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So there's a couple of scenarios. One is that home prices actually go up. That scares me a lot. The other is that, that there is this, what's the word? There's this balance. Buyers say, yep, we're going to get off the fence. Sellers say, we're going to sell our home that we were stuck in forever and we didn't want to move. And there you go. All right. So check that out, guys. I think there's just kind of some interesting things. I was not able to find the Fox News. I just found the Fox News radio. Again, I don't read any news other than real estate news.
Yeah.
So whether it's Fox or CNN, I don't really know what goes on in the news channels, but I do follow real estate news. And final thing is, he said, business rundown, Powell gives the strongest rate cut signal yet. I will link that in our Facebook notes. In the final minute, Blake says we have 60 seconds. Jesse, what's your parting shot? We'll talk about Dixie Days next week.
I'm not going to get too excited about the rate cut because they've been threatening that for a year.
Yeah.
So I'll wait and see if it really happens.
Are there buyers sitting on the fence right now? Do you believe waiting for the rate cut?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see, you guys. If you want to reach out and have a conversation with us, we'd like that. That would be fun. And you can visit us at gostgeorge.com. That is GOSTgeorge.com. GOSTgeorge.com. Or Google the Larkin Group and you will find us. And gosh, let's have a conversation. I think in our next episode, I want to talk about some of the scenarios that people bring to us right now. Just some of the conversations I'm having with clients and potential clients. Jeremy Larkin with Jesse Paul, Larkin Group KW Realty signing off.
Over now.